Good Monday morning, everyone. You are watching Instant Replay with me, Lauren Hunter. I'm your host for today and every week here on Instant Replay. It is 10:10 a.m. So I have had my coffee, I have had a good night's rest, and I am ready to talk about all of the high school sports that have been happening locally in Team FYN Sports Country this week. We have so much on the agenda and on the lineup that I honestly am going to be speeding right on through it just to get everybody mentioned before the end of the segment. We only have an hour. You know, you can only fit so much into an hour, but we're going to do our best to talk about all these hardworking athletes locally who have been putting in the time and the effort to compete and to win and are working hard, and we are so excited. I'm excited, and I'm excited to have you all here with me. Thank you for watching, whether you're watching live or maybe you're watching this later on after we've uploaded to YouTube. Doesn't matter. I'm just glad that you're here with us. Anyway, we're going to jump right on into it. Josh, go ahead and throw up our first picture there. Every week that we have a Taking It to the Next Level, we like to start it off with that. And now Taking It to the Next Level is this program that we do here at Team FYN Sports where we like to highlight a player who is going on from high school to compete at the collegiate level. And this week we have one of these over in Fannin County, where Fannin County baseball player, former Rebel Tyler Norton signed this week to play baseball for Tennessee Wesleyan. Norton is the second Rebel to sign to play for Tennessee Wesleyan following Chandler Kendall. This is a fun fact. The two have been playing together since they were little, and so it's exciting to hear that they will be taking it to the next level together. So a little bit more info about Norton. He was a dual athlete at Fannin who played football and baseball. In football, he played mainly quarterback, and at baseball, he was primarily at second base. Now, even though he played both sports, baseball was his true passion. During the offseason, he played with his travel team, the Hobgood Braves. Head baseball coach shared about Norton during this signing. He said, "This is a big day for Tyler. He is going to play ball and attend school at Tennessee Wesleyan, which is an amazing opportunity. I have no doubt that our seniors will go on to be successful." End quote there from head baseball coach from the Fannin Rebels, Travis Stone. Now, with that being said, congratulations again, Tyler. This is so exciting, and I love it whenever we get a chance to do this segment here on Instant Replay. At Team FYN Sports, we are always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way, and so I'm excited for Tyler as he goes on to continue his collegiate baseball career. Tyler, we are proud of you here at Team FYN Sports, and we are looking forward to all that you continue to do, you and Chandler Kendall, as you go to play together at Tennessee Wesleyan. That's awesome. Two players that have grown up together. I mean, what are the odds? Typically, athletes that go on to play at the collegiate level don't typically go with somebody that they played with at the high school level or in the youth level. And so for these two guys here that have been playing together since they were little kids, I mean, that's just awesome to think about, that they're going to continue to be able to play together. I mean, it's a brotherhood, I imagine, with baseball. And so really excited to hear about this. Congratulations again, Tyler. And we will be looking forward to what you do on into the rest of your baseball career. All right, Josh. So I have my computer graphics guy back there, Josh Ross. During the day, he is computer graphics for my show. On the weekends, he is a football coach with the Fannin County Youth football program, and then he is also our Atlanta Braves guru. So there will probably be a couple of moments throughout the show that I bring in Josh with all of the knowledge he has of local sports here. And Josh, we're going to go ahead and go right on to it. Now, I want to give y'all a heads up. I had a little bit of an internet issue last night. The internet all of a sudden went out at my house, so I've got some of my notes written here next to me in my notebook and then some here on my computer, so I'm going to be switching back and forth a little bit. So bear with me, but we're going to go ahead and jump on into it. We have had a lot going on in sports this week, as I mentioned earlier in the show, from softball and volleyball during the week, and then also wrapping it up with football on Friday night. And in typical Instant Replay fashion, we're going to go county by county and give a recap of the sports that were happening during the week, and then also give a little bit of a preview for some of the sports that will be happening in the coming week. So we are going to be talking about what happened this week in sports. That's what we're going to start calling this segment, This Week in Sports. So we're going to start it off in what was happening over in White County this week. So the Lady Warriors softball team, we're going to start off with them, lost 6-5 against Flower Branch on Tuesday at Flower Branch. The team fell again to Flower Branch at home on Thursday when they hosted them, and they lost by a score of 15-1. They then traveled to Cherokee Bluff and lost 13-5. This coming week, the Lady Warriors will travel to Blessed Trinity for a game on Tuesday, then host Blessed Trinity again on Thursday. So they'll have a couple of series going on this week. And now we want to talk about how the Lady Warriors, they had kind of a tough week, but this is the beginning of the season. There's still a lot of sports left to be played with softball and volleyball, and then especially football. So I want to just mention that even though we're reporting these scores, there's still a lot of game left to play. The Lady Warriors softball team is now 4-3 overall in the season and 0-2 in the region. But again, there's still a lot of game left to play, and I'm sure we're going to be talking more. I know we're going to be talking more about them as the season progresses. Now, we're going to be going through softball and volleyball, and not necessarily in that particular order, but we are going to talk about softball, volleyball, and football on this week's episode of Instant Replay. So going on over into varsity volleyball for White County, the team won their match against West Hall on Tuesday 2-0. They unfortunately lost to Athens Academy 2-0 on Thursday and to North Hall 2-1 on Saturday. They are now 2-2 on the season and 0-1 in region standings. And their upcoming week will consist of matches between West Hall and Dawson County on Tuesday and Lanier and Madison County on Saturday. And man, let me just tell you, it is wide open with fall sports. Just reading this, and I know I'm probably going to say it again going through these sports, there is so much that we have to talk about, and there is so much more coming up, and it is wide open here. Fall sports up here on Team FYN Sports. Now, we're going to move over into some football. The White County Warriors football team faced Stevens County in a scrimmage on Thursday night and fell 48-25. We want to go ahead and give a shout out and thank you to our White County reporter Carson Finley for going out to this game on Thursday. We're going to give a game recap courtesy of Carson. Here in this game, the Warriors started off strong with an interception by senior Nix Burkett during the Warriors' first time on defense. Awesome interception. Immediately afterwards, quarterback J. Ben Haynes threw a pass to Jesse Thomas for an early Warriors touchdown, and the Warriors took an early lead. Stevens County scored 2 touchdowns to take a 13-6 lead to end the first quarter. The Warriors wide receiver Jimmy King left the game midway through the first quarter with a dislocated shoulder. King is a big part of the Warriors offense, so this will be a tough loss for the team if he can't come back the rest of the season, but we hope for a speedy recovery for King. The Warriors had a hard time getting anything going on offense until the end of the second quarter when Thomas caught another touchdown pass from Haynes. Unfortunately for the Warriors, Stevens County offense was able to score 2 more touchdowns and leave the first half with a 27-13 lead. At the start of the third quarter, quarterback Haynes for the Warriors threw a pick 6 to give the Indians an even greater lead. Both teams started to put in their second and third strings into the game as the game went on. Sophomore Silas Mulligan and junior Riley Stansel both scored touchdowns for the Warriors in the fourth quarter. However, the Warriors were unable to put enough points on the board to defeat the Indians, and the final score, as we said earlier, was 48-25. Again, we want to thank Team FYN sports reporter over in White County, Carson Finley, for bringing us this report. Now, Carson will be on the sideline both home and away games for all of the Warriors, so keep an eye out for him on your sideline if you're a Warriors fan or if you plan to go to any of these games, because he will be there for us, and we are looking forward to what he is going to be bringing us over there in White County, as this is a county that we will be covering regularly for the first time here on Team FYN Sports. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be going county by county, and Indians fans, we're coming over to you over in Lumpkin County. Now, many of you may recognize me because I was all over the place this weekend covering Lumpkin County sports. I was at all 3 of the Lady Indians softball games. I was at the football game on Friday night against Towns County. And then I wrapped up my weekend when I was over at the MFL Indian Jamboree on Saturday. So I'm sure many of you are probably seeing me now and you're like, oh yeah, I know who she is. She's with Team FYN Sports. So we're going to be recapping all of these games as well. Now, unfortunately, I was unable with everything else that I was going to. I was unable to make it any of the volleyball games this week. But don't worry, ladies over there on the volleyball team, we are still going to highlight you here on Instant Replay. And that's what we're going to do right now. The varsity volleyball team defeated both Stevens and Rabun counties on Tuesday. The Indians won both matches with 2 sets in each match. Congratulations, girls. Keep up the good work. Y'all are doing awesome over there. The team will take on Pickens tomorrow, followed by West Hall on Tuesday, then Calhoun and Pickens again on Saturday. Now, I was in attendance, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, for all of the Lady Indians softball games this week, and man, did they have a good week this week. The Lady Indians won all 3 of their games. They defeated Union County 5-4 on Monday, Chestatee 17-0 on Tuesday, and then Chestatee again when they hosted them on Thursday 11-0. Now, unfortunately, because of time constraints, as I mentioned earlier, we only have an hour worth of show. I won't be able to do a play-by-play for all these games like I wish that I could, but I'm going to give some highlights from the week because these ladies deserve it. They were working hard over there. Natalie Robinson, who you see on the screen right now, pitched a great game for the Lady Indians on Monday against Union. She was pounding the zone all night with swinging strikes, and she pitched a total of 6 innings with 2 strikeouts. Now, I know this is time to highlight the Lady Indians, but I do want to give a shout out to the Union County Panthers softball team because they started off with some great offense on Monday when they were at Lumpkin County to jump ahead with a 4-0 lead. But the Lady Indians were able to pull back ahead and ended up winning 5-4 on Monday night. Now, on Tuesday, the Lady Indians traveled to Chestatee and defeated the Lady War Eagles 17-0. The Lady Indians offense got things started going earlier, right out of the gate on this game with a leadoff single in the top of the first by Evie Dornhecker, shortstop for the Lady Indians. A double in the second with 2 RBIs for Lauren English, who was the starting pitcher for this game. And a phenomenal out-of-the-park home run by first baseman Natalie Robinson, who you see on the screen there. English, who I mentioned was the starting pitcher for this game, also pitched a great game with 3 strikeouts over the 3 innings that these teams played before Lumpkin won on a run rule in the 3rd inning 17-0. Now, the Lady War Eagles came to Lumpkin on Thursday, and the Lady Indians won 11-0 to finish up their non-region play. Now, I'll just say how much fun it was to come out and cover these games during the week. And I'm looking forward to the Lady Indians continuing to play because this week they're going into region play, and this is huge for them. Tonight they will face off with Dawson County and then host East Hall on Tuesday before traveling to Greater Atlanta Christian GAC on Thursday. So this team has a busy week ahead of them, and when I talked to head coach Joe Jones on Thursday night, he said that they were going to be working hard on Friday, then resting up this weekend before they start their region play on Monday, which is tonight, and I will be going to that game as well. So, folks, like I said, fall sports are in full swing, man. It is full steam ahead. And with that being said, I mean, it's time to talk about some Lumpkin County Indians football, but it's also time to take our first break for me to catch my breath because I'm going nonstop for this first segment of the show. And when we come back, as I mentioned, we'll be talking about some Lumpkin County Indians football. And then we're going to be moving right along because we still have a lot of ground to cover this week in sports. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back here on Instant Replay. I'm Lauren Hunter.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and J, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
At Ingalls, we have a very special family. A family of farmers, ranchers, and dairymen. Clerks, butchers, and bakers. Deli workers, pharmacists, and florists. We work hard every day to bring you the very best. And we'll continue to wake up every morning and work as hard as you do. This is our town, and we built this community together. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
The summer savings are too hot to touch at Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper. And every Chevy truck has a red hot price, like new Colorado Crew Cabs, over $6,500 off, or new Silverado Crew Cabs, over $11,000 off. You won't find a hotter deal on a new Chevy truck anywhere else in Georgia. The summer savings event going on right now at Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Dave's Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hi everyone, Dave Garner here. You might know me as a regular contributor to Team FYN Sports and the Instant Replay, but did you know I'm also your local Woodman Life representative? My job is to make sure that families are protected through needs-based life insurance and retirement. I want to make sure that you leave your loved ones with memories, not expenses. Call me today to find out how I can help you to not outlive your money and that your money outlives you. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Welcome back, everyone. You are watching Instant Replay with me, your host, Lauren Hunter. And we have been talking about a ton. Josh can vouch for me, of fall sports here this week that have been happening here and around Team FYN Sports Country. And we are so glad that you are joining us today, whether you're joining us live or you're joining us later on our YouTube channel. And speaking of which, if you like what you see, which I really, truly hope that you do, if you're watching it live, you're on our Facebook page, which is Team FYN Sports. Go ahead and give that a like so that you can see all the content that we post. And we post something daily, and especially with all the fall sports coming on now, I mean daily. So go ahead and give us a like there. And then if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, obviously you're already there. So go ahead and subscribe. I mean, you might as well, right? Why not? Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is FYN TV. Fetch Your News. And then also go and follow us on our other social media platforms. We're posting daily updates on there as well. Twitter and Instagram, it's the same thing, at Team FYN Sports. And then we always like to say that if you have any information you want to share with us, especially with all the sports going on now, you can shoot us an email down there at that email address, teamfynsports@fetchyournews.com, or you can even give us a ring at that phone number there. All right, I need to take a breath here for just a second, but we are going to pick back up where we left off, talking about the Lumpkin County Indians football scrimmage this Friday night that took place at Cottrell Field between the Lumpkin County Indians and the Towns County Indians, not to be confused there. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into it. Lumpkin County ended up winning this game 41-7. And this is their segment, I know, but I do want to give a shout out to the Towns County Indians, who despite a 20-man roster still came out and played and gave it their all. And especially with players playing both ways, I mean, they put in some great effort. So here we go with a recap of the game that took place on Friday night. Lumpkin County took over on the Towns County 32-yard line after a fumble in one of Towns County's first possessions. It didn't take long with such great field possession for Lumpkin to get in the end zone, but a touchdown by Drew Allison was overturned after a penalty call. An attempt at a field goal by Will Ramirez was no good. Now, one of the great things about this game was that we got to see more of the passing game that we've been talking about all summer that Lumpkin County is starting to implement under new head coach Caleb Sorrells. And a 22-yard pass from quarterback Tucker Kirk to Trey Wilkes got 6 on the board for Lumpkin in the first quarter. It wasn't too long after that Allison got a touchdown this time. He carried the ball 22 yards and drove it in for another touchdown for Lumpkin. I got a good shot there of that picture on the screen. Towns fumbled again on their 25-yard line, and Lumpkin recovered to regain possession. Kirk threw another pass, this one to Brian Cunane for Lumpkin's third touchdown. That's the picture I have there on the screen. Excuse me. Towns County got a first down during their next possession, but were pushed back by the Lumpkin defense and an offside penalty. Lumpkin finished up the half with a gain of 20 yards and another touchdown by Bojack Dowdy. Towns County got their first and only touchdown of the night, coming out of the half with a 23-yard pass from quarterback Kyle Oakes to Garrett Oakes. Freshman Caden Gibson for the Lumpkin Indians carried the ball 20 yards during Lumpkin's next possession for the final touchdown of the night. Now that is the recap for this game that took place on Friday night. And looking ahead, the Lumpkin County Indians will be facing East Jackson this Friday night at home. Last year, the Indians defeated East Jackson 42-0. So we'll see how this plays out this weekend at home for the Lumpkin County Indians. I will be there, so I'll be able to provide you with a play-by-play recap highlight next week on our edition of Instant Replay. Now, one thing I want to point out about this past Friday, I was looking at some of the stats for this season and last season. Last season's the Indians had a total passing record of 137 yards, and on Friday alone, there was a total of 88 passing yards. I'm just going to leave that there. We've been talking about the passing game for the Lumpkin County Indians. And I'm going to back it up a little bit. I meant to mention this when I was talking about the White County Warriors. And Josh, you don't have to worry too much about the picture. You can put up, the White County team there. Just to preview White County's upcoming week for football, and this ties in to Lumpkin County because White County will actually have a bye this week, and then we'll host Lumpkin County the following week on the 30th. Last year, White County defeated Lumpkin County 40-7, But it's a new year, and it might as well be a new team. We're going to reiterate this a little bit for Lumpkin with new head coach Caleb Sorrells and a reconstructed offense with an increased passing game. And I just talked about that a little bit, and that's how that ties in. We're going to segue that all in together. So I'm looking forward to this game, and we will see what happens. That ought to be a good game between the White County Warriors and the Lumpkin County Indians. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, I had a little bit of an internet issue yesterday. My power went out at the house, so I had to handwrite a bunch of my notes. But fortunately, I'm able to put those away and switch back over to my computer. And we're going to also be switching it up a little bit. We're going to go over into Dawson County and talk about what's been going on over there with the Tigers. Now, this week, the Dawson County varsity volleyball team had a tough week as they lost to Jackson County, West Hall, and North Forsyth, all by a small margin of 2-1. But the team is still 5-3 on the season, and there's a lot of volleyball left to play. This week, the team will take on White County and West Hall on Tuesday, West Forsyth and Pickens on Thursday, and then Fannin County on Saturday. Good luck to these ladies over there in Dawson County on the varsity volleyball team. In softball, the Lady Tigers lost to Greater Atlanta Christian on Monday, 8-0, then fell to East Hall 14-2. The Lady Tigers have already started their region play, and they will continue this region play with a game against the Lumpkin County Indians at home today. And I talked about that a little bit when we were talking about the Lady Indians' upcoming schedule. Now we're going to be talking about some football. Josh, I saw you put up those football pictures a minute ago. You can go ahead and put those up. Check out these awesome pictures. I'll try to talk slow so we can roll them a little bit more. These are awesome pictures that were captured by Noah Rubin, our sideline reporter for the Dawson County Tigers. And we want to say thank you to Noah for all of the hard work that he has been doing for us. Even though he is fairly new to the Team FYN sports team, we are excited to have him, and this will be our first season covering the Dawson County Tigers on the sideline regularly. So we're very excited to have him, and we're very excited to be bringing weekly updates and game recaps of the Dawson County Tigers. But for this week, the Tigers had a bye week, but they will take on Habersham Central this Friday. This will be the second time that the Tigers will be facing the Raiders, and it ought to be a good game because Habersham Central is a 6A school, so they'll be bringing the manpower and resources of a school and a team that size. But we know here at Team FYN Sports that size is not everything, and the Tigers are a younger team, but they have great leadership under head coach Sid Maxwell. This is his 5th season with the Tigers, so again, this ought to be a good game. And we are looking forward to everything that is going on over there in Dawson County. And again, I got to take a break because we are moving so quick. We have so much content to cover. And we're going to be moving on over into Pickens County. And the Pickens varsity volleyball team, this is who we're going to talk about first. They fell in 2 games to Gilmer earlier this week. And they fell to Sonoraville 2-0, but bounced back to defeat Adairsville 2-0. They have Murray and Lumpkin coming up this week, along with West Forsyth, Dawson County, and Calhoun. So good luck to these ladies over there on the Pickens varsity volleyball team. Over in softball, the Lady Dragonettes fell to Heritage on Tuesday 12-2, then to Lafayette 13-9, and Chattooga 3-1. They came back to defeat Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe 4-3 on Saturday. And this week they will be taking on Southeast Whitfield County along with Union and Campbell. And we want to give a shout out here. Now we've been talking about varsity teams so far in this show, but we want to give a shout out to Nets Junior High softball pitcher Cheyenne Coleman, who pitched a perfect game this week. Coleman pitched 5 innings with 7 strikeouts and a record of 4-0 and has a record of 4-0 this season. So we want to give a shout out to Coleman over there for the Pickens Nets Junior High softball team. And also we want to say thank you to our Pickens reporter, RJ Casey, who is hashtagged all over it. That's the hashtag we like to use here at Team FYN Sports. And RJ certainly embodies that with all of the information that he gets and sends to us for instant replay, and then also all of the football coverage he does for us over there in Pickens for the Dragons. And we're going to take another brief break because I need to catch my breath. And when we come back, we're going to be bringing you even more information, a game recap of the Pickens football team that played the Denmark Danes this past weekend at home for a scrimmage. So don't go anywhere. I know we're moving along really quick, But we're going to continue to move it along with Pickens football whenever we come back. I'm Lauren Hunter, and you're watching Instant Replay.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN 10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
At Ingalls, we have a very special family. A family of farmers, ranchers, and dairymen. Clerks, butchers, and bakers. Deli workers, pharmacists, and florists. We work hard every day to bring you the very best. And we'll continue to wake up every morning and work as hard as you do. This is our town, and we built this community together. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
The summer truck event is here at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. So come get a payload of savings on Georgia's favorite trucks, like over $11,000 off new Silverado crew cabs, or more than $6,000 off Colorado crew cabs. Every Chevy truck and SUV is discounted for this special event. Don't miss out. The summer truck event at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevy trucks always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hi everyone, Dave Garner here. You might know me as a regular contributor to Team FYN Sports and the Instant Replay, but did you know I'm also your local Woodman Life representative? My job is to make sure that families are protected through needs-based life insurance and retirement. I want to make sure that you leave your loved ones with memories, not expenses. Call me today to find out how I can help you to not outlive your money and that your money outlives you. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of Instant Replay. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter, ready as ever to talk some more about some local fall sports that have been happening this weekend and this week. And like I have said, we have had a full plate here at Team FYN Sports as we've been going around and covering softball, volleyball, football, you name it. We are hashtag all over it. That's the hashtag we like to use here at Team FYN Sports, where we are always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way. And Josh, throw up our social media cards so the fans can see how to follow us more on social media. That's how we get a lot of our information out. And if you're on this page right now watching this show live, you are on our Facebook page. And if you haven't already, go ahead and give it a like. It is Team FYN Sports. And as I mentioned in the last segment, we are posting updates daily, especially with all of the local high school fall sports happening in this area. There is always something going up. So go ahead and give that a like. And then if you're watching this show later on after we've uploaded to our YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to that as well. It is FYN TV, Fetch Your News, and we are posting videos up there frequently as well, coaches' interviews, whatnot. We have all sorts of content going on up there. So go ahead and subscribe to that as well. And then also follow us at Twitter and Instagram at Team FYN Sports. It's all the same. We're posting updates on there all the time as well. And then I always like to give a shout out and say that if you have any information that you'd like to share with us about maybe your team or one of your athletes, shoot us an email there. It is teamfynsports@fetchyournews.com. You can even give us a call and leave us a message there at the number below. All right. Josh, are you ready to talk about some Pickens football? All right. So over in Pickens this week, the Pickens took on the Denmark Danes at home for a scrimmage. And unfortunately, the Pickens Dragons lost this one, but it was not an official, because it was a scrimmage, it's not an official score. But we're still going to go through this game recap supplied to us by the man, the myth, the legend, RJ Casey, our Pickens guru over there, who provides us with all of this information. RJ, we want to say we appreciate you, because I know RJ, and I know he's probably watching this show live right now. And we're going to go on into this game recap. Denmark scored first with a field goal in the first quarter. Then early into the second quarter scored a 15-yard touchdown run to take the lead 10-0. Pickens answered and scored their first touchdown of the night after a beautiful 31-yard pass from C.J. Stryker, quarterback for the Dragons, to Jared Whitmire to make the score 10-6. The Danes came back with an impressive 80-yard touchdown pass to give them a 17-6 lead over the Dragons. Then an exciting moment for the Dragons as Tucker Lowe intercepted a pass for the team on fourth down to finish the half. Now the Danes came back out after the half and started off with their second rushing touchdown of the game to extend their lead 23-6. Pickens came right back and scored a 23-yard touchdown pass from T.C. Jarrett to Connor Browning. The Danes stretched out their lead in the fourth with a 48-yard touchdown and a field goal to finish off the game with a score of 33-13 Danes overall. Now, like I said, this was a tough loss for the Dragons on Friday night, especially at home. But the good news is we know what an incredible team these Pickens Dragons are. They have a lot of returning players from their season last year, where they were 11-1. They went to the playoffs. They had an incredible season. And again, they have a lot of those same players returning. And they have a new head coach under Jeff Nelson. But Coach Nelson has been with the Dragons for several years, so he knows his stuff. And he is a worker. And we interviewed him. And he's focused. He's got these guys focused too. And so they're going to be fine. And they're taking on Stone Mountain on Friday. And this ought to be a good game to watch, because let me tell y'all, this will be the first time that these two teams have seen each other. And so it ought to be a good game to watch. We have a lot of good games coming up this week, and we've been talking about them, and we're going to continue to be talking about them. And one game in particular that we're going to be talking about here in just a few minutes. And that's going to actually wrap up our Pickens segment for the day. So again, we want to thank the man, the myth, the legend, RJ Casey over in Pickens for giving us this information. And he's going to be supplying us with more Pickens information as the season goes on. especially on Friday nights, because if there is a Pickens football game going on, RJ Casey is there. We know it to be true. All right, so we're moving on over into Gilmer. And the Gilmer volleyball team won 2 games over Pickens on Tuesday at home, then played 2 tough games against East Hall but came up short. They also lost 2-0 to Coosa last week, and they will take on Union and Fannin tomorrow and then finish off their week with a game against Fannin on Saturday. The Gilmer softball team won against Ridgeland earlier in the week 7-3, then lost to North Murray, Lakeview, Fort Oglethorpe, and Kahula Creek. They finished up the week with a comeback win against Chattahoochee 10-0. Sounds like that was a great game. They will face Union County tonight, followed by Lafayette and Northwest Whitfield later in the week. So good luck to these 2 female teams as they go on into their week. And now we're going to be moving on over into Gilmer football. And like I said earlier in the show, we are moving right along because we're already running a little short on time. And I want to try to get all of it in that we can. And the Gilmer football team, the Bobcats lost a heartbreaker to Dade County 2019 with 3 seconds left in the game. And we're going to go ahead and recap this real fast. Gilmer scored first with a 3-yard run by Ashton White in the first quarter. An attempt at a 2-point conversion was no good, but Gilmer still led 6-0. The Wolverines answered with a touchdown during their next possession with a run by Isaac Pengel. A field goal attempt was no good, and the teams were tied 6-6 going out of the first. The next score was by White for Gilmer with 1:15 left in the half with a run for 15 yards. The field goal attempt by Adolfo Bautista was good, and Gilmer led 13-6 going into the half. Now, Dade County came back out of the half ready to play and scored on their first possession with an 8-yard run by Pengel, and then a 2-point conversion to take the lead 14-13. These 2 teams were fighting out there. Gilmer answered with another touchdown by Kobe Stonecipher and took the lead 19-14. This was the last touchdown of the game until a last-minute run for 5 yards and a touchdown by Dade County Adam Davis to win 2019. What a heartbreaking loss there for the Gilmer Bobcats, but it sounds like they still played a great game out there against Dade County. Like I said, it sounds like these 2 teams were battling it out throughout the game, going back and forth, scoring touchdowns. And so it's just one of those games that, it wasn't meant to be for the Bobcats, and Dade County came ahead at the very last minute on that 5-yard run by Adam Davis. But we have a big game alert coming up this weekend, this Friday night, with a matchup between the Gilmer Bobcats and the Fannin County Rebels on Friday. And y'all, let me tell you, this is a big rivalry game. And when we come back, stay tuned. You don't want to miss this segment. When we come back, we're going to be recapping the Fannin Rebels week, and then we're going to be talking about this big game between the Gilmer Bobcats and the Fannin County Rebels and giving a preview of that game. So don't go anywhere. When we come back from break, we'll be wrapping it up. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter. You're watching Instant Replay.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
At Ingalls, we have a very special family. A family of farmers, ranchers, and dairymen. Clerks, butchers, and bakers. Deli workers, pharmacists, and florists. We work hard every day to bring you the very best. And we'll continue to wake up every morning and work as hard as you do. This is our town, and we built this community together. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
The summer truck event is here at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. So come get a payload of savings on Georgia's favorite trucks, like over $11,000 off new Silverado crew cabs, or more than $6,000 off Colorado crew cabs. Every Chevy truck and SUV is discounted for this special event. Don't miss out. The summer truck event at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevy trucks always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hi everyone, Dave Garner here. You might know me as a regular contributor to Team FYN Sports and the Instant Replay, but did you know I'm also your local Woodman Life representative? My job is to make sure that families are protected through needs-based life insurance and retirement. I want to make sure that you leave your loved ones with memories, not expenses. Call me today to find out how I can help you to not outlive your money and that your money outlives you. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Welcome back, everyone. You are watching Instant Replay with me, your host, Lauren Hunter. Thank you again for watching with us today. And if you get a chance after you watch this, which you definitely should, go and follow us on all these social media platforms as well as our YouTube channel. All of that information is right there. You probably saw it on the big screen a little bit before we came back. But we are crunched for time, and I want to try to get all of this in, so we're going to speed through it real fast. Over in FYN, I said we were going to recap their games really quick to finish off the show. FYN volleyball went 3-1 on the week with wins over Murray Union and Stevens County. Unfortunately, they lost to East Jackson by a score of 2-0. And then over in softball, on Monday, the Lady Rebels beat Chestatee 13-11, and on Wednesday fell to GAC, Greater Atlanta Christian, 13-4. They have 3 games this week. Today against East Hall, tomorrow against Cherokee Bluff, and Thursday at North Hall. And now I'm going to recap FYN football a little bit. And this was a scrimmage against the Hayesville Yellow Jackets on Friday night. And we know that the Rebels were coming off of a big win against longtime rival Copper Basin in a scrimmage the Friday night before. And they won big 55-6 against Copper Basin and won big against the Hayesville Yellow Jackets this week, 42-7. And we had big scores by Carson Beavers, Caleb Postel, good field goals by Sarah Sosby. Cahuta Hyde scored a touchdown, and so did senior JoJo Hyde. And then we also had some plays by freshman quarterback David Mashburn, sophomore Sawyer Moreland. And the Rebels ended up winning 14-7 over the Hayesville in this game. And I sped through that game because it was a scrimmage, and I really wanted to focus on, towards the end of the show, and we don't have much time, I wanted to focus on this big game that is coming up this week between the Gilmer Bobcats and the Fannin County Rebels. And I am so excited. I want to save the best for last, or not the best for last. I don't mean that like that. All of these teams have been doing great over the course of the season so far, and I know they're going to continue to do great. But this is a big rivalry game between the Gilmer Bobcats and the Fannin County Rebels. And just to give a little bit of history on these two teams, these two rivals have met 43 times through the years. And Gilmer leads the all-time series with a record of 25-16-2. But Fannin has won the last 3 games by a score of 17-14 in 2016, 42-0 in 2017, and 28-0 in 2018. And now, not to downplay the other games taking place again this weekend, but this will be a huge game to watch and or pay attention to, because Gilmer is a team that is hungry for a win. Now, they have a heartbreaking loss on Friday against Dade County, as we talked about earlier, and they're going to be looking for a comeback win this coming Friday. And they've got a lot of returning players, but they've also got new leadership under their new head coach, Kevin Saunders, who BKP and I interviewed earlier in the summer. And Coach Saunders is focused. I mean, he is wanting to turn around this Gilmer Bobcat program that has, had sort of a struggle in the past few years. And he is going to get this team focused. And if you look back at the highlights from the game against Dade County on Friday night, I mean, this team was pushing ahead. And again, they are going to be looking for a win to take down these Rebels that have been beating up on them for the last 3 years. But on the other hand, we have the Fannin Rebels, who have been performing amazingly over the past 2 years. And last season, under head coach Chad Cheatham, they went to the playoffs for the first time. And so there is a lot of excitement around this program, and they have great talent to back it up, with returning quarterback junior Luke Holloway, who still, even after this season, is going to have another year, and big offensive linemen Mason Bundy and Miles Johnston. I mean, there is a lot of hype around this game, y'all. I can't talk about it enough. And so it is going to be a huge game to watch this Friday night at Fannin. And so if you don't have anything to do Friday night, definitely go out to one of these high school games. And this, unfortunately, I'm out of breath and I am out of time. And I wish I had more time to talk about these games, because, again, y'all, we have so much going on up here in Team FYN Sports Country. And there's so much hype. There is so much excitement. I can't hardly contain it. I mean, you can probably hear me. My voice has been going out after all of this talking I've been doing throughout this segment. There's, again, so much going on. Definitely follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date with all of these teams. And join us here next week, same place, same time, for a recap of all these games we've been talking about here on Instant Replay. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter, and I've got to go because we are out of time. So thank you again for being here with us. We will see you next week. Have a great week, and good luck to all of our teams.